Hey, so my name is Abby. I'm 20 years old. I'll be 21 this summer, and sorry if the video quality is really bad and the sound quality is bad. I'm on my MacBook, that's all I really have to film. Um, so the reason I'm making this video is to support others on what I'm about to explain and give you maybe some tips or, I don't know, something that can help you along this if you're going through it. So, to start out with, depersonalization and derealization is very real. I had no idea what it was up until about a year and a half ago. It's so tough to talk about because it sucks. It's not fun. You feel alone. You feel like there's nothing there to help you. But anyways, what it is. So depersonalization is basically the detachment within oneself. It feels like you are not real, and that's the only easy way to say it. If you have it or you've experienced it before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You feel like you are in a dream that you cannot wake up from. You feel like you are not yourself. You feel like you are looking in a different body that's not you, that you're used to. And derealization is what I just explained, but the perception of reality is off and not there. So I know it sounds bizarre. I didn't tell anyone for a really long time because I was scared of what people would say to me or how they would look at me and be like, "Are you crazy?" Because I feel like it. I feel like I'm crazy. I felt like I was crazy. So to start out with, I'll go and explain what happened. So I have had anxiety for a really long time, probably since high school. I took medication during high school, Zoloft, and I'm sure a lot of people have used that before. Fast forward a little bit, I moved to Raleigh, North Carolina, and I lived with my dad for the first year of college. All good. I was fine. Moved out on my own at NC State, and I was having fun. It was great. Everything was great. Jolly, happy. So, yeah, moved out. I started smoking a lot of weed. Like, a lot. All day, every day. I loved it. It helped my anxiety during that time. It helped me relax. It helped me sleep. It helped me eat. It helped me focus with school, actually. I know a lot of people are like, what? But no, I could sit there high and do all of my homework in like an hour. No kidding. So there's a lot of benefits to it. Like, yeah, it's not legal, but I did it. So, no longer smoke weed. And I'll explain why. So let's see. That was probably about a year. I did that for about a year, loved it, and then one night I was at a friend's house and smoked and had a horrible, horrible panic attack. Nothing I've ever experienced in my life. It was just absurd. Like, I cannot explain to you what happened. All I can say is I had no idea who I was. My mind was out there. Didn't know who any of my friends were. The room was just changing. Like, I had no idea what was happening. It was insane. And it was just so bad. Like, when I looked at someone's face, it was distorted. Like, almost like hallucinating. So that happened, and I was not okay for a while. I felt really weird. I came back to life, I guess you could say, after that, and was like, what the fuck just happened? And so let's see, the next day I woke up, I was okay. I was like, oh God, that was wild. And a few days passed, and then I woke up one morning and something was off. I was like, what is going on? Like, I was very, like, not myself. And this is where it started. I felt like I was in a dream and I couldn't wake up. And I didn't think much of it at first. I was just kind of like, well, maybe my head's just foggy today. And I was like, it'll go away in a few hours. Like, I'm okay. I went and got lunch with some friends or something. And then I went home and it was still there. And I was like, okay, this is weird. Like, I don't know. So I took a nap. I was like, okay, this will help. I'll wake up. And let's see. I woke up, still there. And I was like, oh my God, this is weird. And so I ignored it. I tried to ignore it, cut it. Next day, I was like, okay, something's wrong. Something's actually wrong with me. I started doing my own research. I didn't tell anyone, like I said. Like, this was just me. And I was scared. I did my research. I found out exactly what it was. Depersonalization, derealization. And I kid you not, everything I read was so accurate of what I was experiencing. And so I was like, oh my God. And the thing that scared me the most was there's no cure. There's no medication. There's nothing you can do. People can deal with it for weeks, months, and years. And I kid you not, I sat there and just cried. I cried. And listen, I'm not trying to scare anyone because I've been in your place, and if you're watching this and just now experiencing it, I promise you right now, you will be okay. You are here, you are alive, and just remember that. So, I read that, and I was like, oh my God, like, what do I do? So the first person I told was my mom. She didn't understand it at all. She was very confused and didn't know how to help me. She said, you should go to the doctor. And I was like, okay, what can they do? Like, there's no cure. They probably don't even know what it is. And so I scheduled an appointment with my doctor, who I'm actually pretty close with. I tell her just about everything. So I was like, it can't be that bad. And not to mention, during all this, I was still having really bad anxiety, and just looking around and realizing I felt like nothing was real would freak me out even more, and I would feel like I was going back into that same panic attack. And I hope that makes sense. It's kind of difficult to understand. So everything was very sensitive to me. I remember just being like triggered by little things. Like, I look down at my hand and I'm like, oh my God, that's not even my hand. Driving, I just was not okay. Like, the only thing that helps you while driving is putting on sunglasses. It kind of like eliminates the distance you have when you're experiencing this. So let's see. Oh, doctor. So went to the doctor. She put me on a different anxiety medication and referred me to a therapist. And I was like, great, like, what can these people do? And this is kind of like weeks going by, trying to help you out with the timeline of it. So scheduled the therapist appointment, went there, laid everything out on the table, told her exactly what was going on. And she understood. She basically told me, it's your anxiety. You had a panic attack. You are suffering from PTSD from that panic attack. And this is how your body is dealing with it. Your, like, fight response is constantly on in your brain. And that's what the depersonalization and derealization is. And I was like, okay. So what do we do? How do I get rid of this? Like, I can't live like this. I felt so helpless, and like, I didn't know what to do with myself. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. There was multiple times where I would just lay there and be like, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. And it's really hard to deal with. So the therapist and I, we came up with a few ideas of how this can help me. And one of them was, I always need to remember I am in charge of my body. There is nothing else that's in charge of me. There is nothing that can hurt me. Anxiety cannot hurt you. Anxiety cannot kill you, and neither can this. You control your own body, and you will be okay. And that's something that really stuck to me. When I start to feel really bad in these certain times suffering from this, I always remember that I am in control. I can do this, I can handle it, and I'll be okay. I'm right here. Because when you go through these certain little just out of whack stages during this, you feel helpless, you feel like you're not even you, you feel like you are not in control. And that is the most hard thing to deal with. So, it sucks. Anyway, so kept seeing the therapist. We talked once a week. It started to help me. It did. Nothing really helped the depersonalization and derealization, but I can tell you one thing. You have to go in this confident. I was scared for the first 3 months, and I realized that's what was hurting me. That's why I was getting depressed. I was helpless during that, and I wasn't confident. I wasn't helping myself. I was just terrified and scared constantly. And at nighttime, I would have the worst thoughts in my head that were not me. I don't think like that. I'm a happy, positive person. I would wake up in the morning and it would be really tough to just open my eyes and be like, it's still here. So, let's get to the good stuff. About 6 months later, I started to keep myself busy, keep myself social. I would try to hang out with friends as much as I could. And at first, it's going to be tough. I tell you what, it's going to be tough. You're going to sit there and be like, these are my friends, but I'm not me. No, you are you. You will be okay, and you're going to get through it. You have to be confident that you will be okay and you will overcome this. I promise you. So I started to get really social again because for a long time I isolated myself because I was so scared. My friends would always check on me like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And so I finally got back into the groove of things with my friends. And I told them what was going on. I just told them, I said, just please listen to me. Just listen with open ears and an open mind. And they did. They sure did. They understood. I showed them a video on YouTube of someone explaining it, and it really helped them understand. I did the same thing with my mom, and she started to really understand as well. So, let's see. That really helped me, because the thing is, you focus so much on what's going on with the depersonalization and derealization that you're not enjoying life. And that's the thing. You cannot sit there and think about it constantly, because I did that, and I lost about 3-4 months of my life. So when I started to hang out with my friends again, go out, have fun, and whatnot, I just realized, I was like, wow, it makes you forget that it's there. You feel like you're yourself again. Even if it's for an hour, 2 hours, it's better than sitting there in your room upset dealing with this. And I promise you that. So, During all this, I did not smoke at all. No weed, nothing. And I knew that was my best bet to not do it again because it's just going to make it worse. So, yeah, so I started hanging out with my friends, going to the pool, everything. My 20th birthday came around. And it was a tough day because I was like, wow, I'm 20 years old and dealing with something so shitty. But I stopped it. I said, no, I'm not doing that today. I'm going to enjoy my birthday. I'm going to enjoy my friends. I'm going to enjoy the pool. All right, so that was that part. And let's move forward a little bit. So months go by. I still am dealing with it, but I've learned how to handle it. My anxiety was controlled with my Lexapro medication. I was also prescribed buspirone to take twice a day and emergency medicine, which was my Klonopin. I only had to take it, I'd say, a few times when I was just sitting there, like, freaking out during this, like, oh my God, like, I'm not real. Nothing's real. What is going on? And that was just something to calm it down and let me relax and settle. So, it's a lot of medication. I don't like taking medication, so that was tough for me to realize what I was doing. I would go see my doctor once a month just to check in, still seeing the therapist. And I can say it was not as bad as it was at first. It started to, I guess you could say, deteriorate. It started to deteriorate a little bit. I was starting to really come back to life, I guess. I moved to South Carolina. And it was a tough change, I have to say. It was really tough. I don't do well with change. So it was hard to move out of state, leave all my friends, leave my family. It was hard. And I noticed that kind of took a toll on me, dealing with this. So that was a hard few weeks. I'm here now. I'm settled. It's been months. I'm doing okay. But I will warn you, it's tough to deal with that. So someone's calling me. So now in the future, you know the past, I can say, I don't want to scare anyone, I still have it. I've learned how to handle it. And I'm going to tell you how. So number one, as I already said, confidence. 2, take care of yourself. Do not sit there and lay in bed and cry or be scared because it's just going to make it worse. I promise you. Eat healthy. I know you're like, what does that have to do with anything? The healthier you eat, the better your body will feel and your mind. 4, be social. If you're not a social person, that's okay. But, even hanging out with your family, going to get dinner, anything is going to help you besides isolating yourself. I did that for a really long time, and it only made matters worse. So be social, hang out with your friends, go out, go eat dinner, go get coffee, a smoothie, drinks, anything. Even having a movie night, I promise you, having company and ignoring the fact it's there and being confident will help you. I promise. Yoga really helped me. I could even post a yoga routine that I use frequently that really helps me just be in the moment with myself and meditate, come into reality with you and earth. That really, really helps. CBD oil relaxes your body. So those are some tips that really will help you, I promise. And I'll even link those below, write those below. Another thing is I have created a blog that gives you a rundown of everything, basically everything I just said, but written, and a few other things that I can show you and that you can click and just read and follow up to date with everything. Now, the thing I do have to say with depersonalization and derealization, it is the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life, and for a long time, I couldn't even talk about it. I couldn't talk about anything deep. You know, like, what is the earth like? Are we actually here? Like, are we just souls? Like, cells? Like, how did it start? Like, anything like that would freak me out immediately, and I'd be like, panic attack. So, that's basically what it is. And another thing I need to mention is you have to accept it. You have to accept you have it. You can't just be like, no, I don't have it. I'm fine. Like, no. I know I say be confident and try to ignore it in the moment, but I'm saying accept it in your body. Accept you have it. Accept that you can get through the process and you will be okay. I hope I don't sound like I'm contradicting myself, because I promise you, you have to accept it. But when you are in the moment with friends and being social, it will go away and you will feel like, wow, you can't just sit there and be like, holy fuck, I have it. Like, I'm dealing with something really hard. Like, depersonalization sucks. I'm not real. You cannot bombard yourself with those thoughts, or else you're going to feel like that the whole time. So that was the rundown of everything, and I hope I helped some people. And another thing is, talking to someone is very important. I know I'm the one that made the video, but if you need to talk, comment, and I promise you we can exchange numbers or something where I can help you and just give you some more personal ideas. The other thing is, I made the decision a few years ago that I was going into psychology as my major. So I plan to either be a therapist or, with further education, get my PhD in psychology. With therapy, the reason I want to do that is because I went through something so hard that I never want anyone to feel like this. I don't. I want someone to be happy if they have this and not feel like I did. So my main goal with this future job is to specialize in depersonalization and derealization, because in the area where I was, there was no one that specialized in it, no one that could relatively really help me. My therapist knew what it was, but nothing to help me. All she basically said was, it's anxiety, let's get through it. Didn't dig deep into it like I want to. So that's what I want to do. If I get my PhD in psychology, I would love to become a clinical psychologist and study further into this. But my main goal right now is to become a therapist and specialize in depersonalization and derealization. So I hope I helped anyone. Comment below if I did help you, if you need someone to talk to, and let's keep good vibes and positivity on this video, because a lot of people need it, and I've been there, and I still even need it. So it was nice meeting all of you. I'm Abby, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.